Have you ever felt like your thoughts are holding you back, causing unnecessary stress, or making you doubt yourself? In his transformative book, Don't Believe Everything You Think, Joseph Nguyen reveals why our thinking is the root of our suffering, and how we can find lasting peace by understanding and overcoming this. This video will take you on a journey through the key ideas of the book, showing you practical ways to break free from destructive thought patterns and live with clarity and purpose. Let's dive in. Chapter 1. The Journey to Finding the Root Cause of Suffering. Nguyen opens the book by explaining the nature of suffering. He draws on Buddhist philosophy, using the metaphor of two arrows. The first arrow is the unavoidable pain caused by life's challenges. The second arrow, which causes deeper suffering, is our reaction to that pain. Nguyen emphasizes that while we can't control the first arrow, we have complete control over the second. He shares how, like many of us, he explored countless self-improvement methods, from meditation to therapy, yet still felt lost. It wasn't until he understood how our perception of reality is shaped by our thoughts that he began to free himself from suffering. By recognizing that we often create our own pain through overthinking, Nguyen lays the foundation for transforming our mental habits. Ask yourself this: what would your life look like if you could let go of the second arrow? Chapter 2. The Root Cause of All Suffering. In this chapter, Nguyen identifies the root cause of our suffering, our own thinking. He explains that we live not in reality, but in a world of thought. For example, two people can sit in the same coffee shop, one enjoying the moment, the other consumed by worry. The difference lies not in their surroundings, but in their thoughts. Nguyen shares a powerful insight. Our feelings don't come from external events, but from how we interpret those events. Imagine disliking your job and feeling miserable at home simply because you're dwelling on work. Without that thought, you'd likely feel at peace. Nguyen's lesson is clear. By changing our relationship with our thoughts, we can change our experience of life. Let this sink in. You're always one thought away from a completely different reality. Chapter 3. Why do we even think? Why do we think so much even when it causes us pain? Nguyen explains that our ability to think evolved for survival, helping us identify threats and solve problems. However, in modern life, this survival mechanism often backfires. Our minds replay past events and imagine future scenarios, creating anxiety and stress. Nguyen encourages us to see the mind as a tool, not our master. He suggests that thriving, not just surviving, requires tuning into something deeper than our thoughts: consciousness. Picture this. What if you could step back and observe your thoughts instead of being consumed by them? This shift can free you from the relentless mental chatter and open the door to inner peace. Chapter 4. Thoughts versus thinking. Nguyen makes a crucial distinction between thoughts and thinking. Thoughts are neutral. They arise naturally, often without our control. Thinking, on the other hand, is when we engage with those thoughts, adding judgments, fears, and doubts. For instance, imagine a thought about wanting a better job. On its own, it's neutral, even motivating. But when you start overthinking, you might spiral into doubts about your abilities or fears of failure. Nguyen argues that thinking, not thoughts themselves, is the root of suffering. He emphasizes that positive thoughts flow naturally when we're aligned with our true selves. Instead of forcing positivity, he suggests letting go of unnecessary thinking to create space for joy and clarity. Next time a negative thought arises, try this. Let it pass without clinging to it, and notice how much lighter you feel. Chapter 5. Do we need to think positively to feel good? Many of us believe that to feel good, we must actively think positive thoughts. Nguyen challenges this by showing that our natural state beneath all the noise of overthinking is one of joy, love, and peace. He invites readers to recall a moment of pure happiness. Most people realize that during those moments, they weren't overthinking, they were simply present. Nguyen's insight is profound. Positive emotions don't come from thinking positively, but from experiencing life without the clutter of overthinking. Consider this. Instead of forcing your mind to be positive, What if you focused on quieting the mind? The result is a deeper, more authentic sense of well-being. Chapter 6. How the Human Experience is Created. Nguyen introduces the three principles that shape our experience: universal mind, consciousness, and thought. Universal mind represents the intelligence behind all life. Consciousness is our awareness of existence, and thought is the creative force that shapes our perceptions. Together, these principles explain why two people can have entirely different experiences of the same situation. Nguyen likens this to a movie. Universal mind is the electricity powering the projector, consciousness is the screen, and thought is the film itself. By understanding these principles, we gain the power to create a more fulfilling experience of life. Imagine having the tools to rewrite the story playing on your screen. That's the potential Nguyen offers. Chapter 7. The Illusion of Control. Control is something many of us strive for, but Nguyen reveals it's often an illusion. He explains that trying to control every aspect of life creates stress and frustration because most things are outside our control. Think about the weather or other people's actions. Worrying about these doesn't change them. It only robs you of peace. Instead, Nguyen suggests focusing on what you can control: your responses and actions. For example, if you're stuck in traffic, instead of getting upset, you could listen to a podcast or practice deep breathing. This shift in focus can dramatically improve your well-being. By letting go of the illusion of control, you create space for acceptance and peace. Chapter 8. Understanding the Nature of Thought. Nguyen dives deeper into the nature of thought, explaining that thoughts are transient and temporary. They come and go like clouds in the sky, yet we often treat them as if they're permanent truths. For example, if you think, "I'm not good enough," it's easy to believe that thought defines you. But Nguyen reminds us that thoughts are not facts. They're just mental events passing through. He encourages cultivating awareness of your thoughts without judgment. The next time a negative thought arises, try this. Observe it. Label it as just a thought, and let it pass without attaching meaning to it. This practice can help you break free from over-identifying with your thoughts and find a deeper sense of peace. Chapter 9. The Power of Presence. Presence is the antidote to overthinking. Nguyen explains that when we're fully present, we're not caught up in past regrets or future worries. Instead, we're experiencing life as it unfolds. He shares practical ways to cultivate presence, such as mindfulness and grounding techniques. For instance, take a moment to focus on your breath or the sensations in your body. These simple practices anchor you in the present moment. Nguyen also points out that presence allows you to connect more deeply with others and enjoy life's simple joys, like the taste of your morning coffee or the warmth of the sun on your skin. By practicing presence, you can quiet the noise of your thoughts and experience the peace that's always available in the now. Chapter 10. Living from the Inside Out. Nguyen introduces the concept of living from the inside out, which means that our experience of life is created internally, not externally. Many people believe their happiness depends on external factors like success, relationships, or material possessions. But Nguyen shows that true happiness comes from within. For example, you might think a promotion will make you happy, but if your internal state is one of stress and dissatisfaction, that happiness will be fleeting. By focusing on cultivating inner peace and understanding, you can create a stable foundation for happiness that isn't dependent on external circumstances. Nguyen's message is clear. True freedom and joy come from realizing that your experience of life starts from the inside. Chapter 11. The Role of Acceptance. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up or settling. It means acknowledging reality as it is, without resistance. Nguyen explains that much of our suffering comes from wishing things were different instead of accepting them as they are. Imagine being caught in a rainstorm. You can either resist it, getting angry and wet, or accept it, opening yourself to the experience of the rain. Acceptance allows you to respond wisely to life's challenges instead of reacting emotionally. Nguyen suggests practicing small acts of acceptance daily. For instance, if plans change unexpectedly, take a deep breath and choose to adapt instead of resist. This shift can transform how you navigate difficult situations, bringing peace to the present moment. Chapter 12. The beauty of letting go. Letting go isn't about losing or giving up. It's about releasing what no longer serves you. Nguyen explains that holding on to grudges, expectations, or past mistakes weighs us down and keeps us stuck. He uses the metaphor of carrying a heavy backpack filled with unnecessary items. The more you let go, the lighter and freer you feel. Start by identifying one thing you're holding on to that's causing stress or negativity. Ask yourself, what would my life look like if I let this go? Letting go creates space for new possibilities and deeper peace. By practicing this regularly, you can free yourself from unnecessary burdens and embrace the present moment fully. Chapter 13. Rediscovering joy. Joy isn't something you need to chase, it's already within you, waiting to be rediscovered. Nguyen explains that joy arises naturally when we quiet our thoughts and connect with the present moment. Think of the pure happiness a child feels while playing. It comes effortlessly because they're fully immersed in the now. To rediscover your own joy, Nguyen suggests finding moments of stillness and engaging in activities that bring you genuine pleasure, whether it's spending time in nature, listening to music, or connecting with loved ones. Joy isn't found in grand achievements, but in the small, simple moments of life. Chapter 14. The practice of non-attachment. Non-attachment doesn't mean not caring. It means not clinging. Nguyen explains that attachment to specific outcomes, possessions, or relationships often leads to suffering. For instance, if you tie your happiness to owning a specific car or house, you're setting yourself up for disappointment if it doesn't happen. By practicing non-attachment, you can enjoy life's experiences without being weighed down by expectations. Nguyen suggests starting with small steps, like letting go of the need to control how others perceive you. Instead of obsessing over every detail, focus on your intentions and let the rest unfold naturally. When you practice non-attachment, you create space for peace and contentment, regardless of external circumstances. Chapter 15. The importance of self-compassion. Self-compassion is about treating yourself with the same kindness you'd show a friend. Nguyen explains that many of us are overly critical of ourselves, holding on to guilt or shame over past mistakes. This self-judgment only deepens our suffering. To cultivate self-compassion, Nguyen suggests practicing forgiveness, both for yourself and others. Recognize that you're human and that imperfection is part of the journey. For example, if you miss a workout or make a mistake at work, acknowledge it without self-blame. Instead, remind yourself that it's an opportunity to learn and grow. Nguyen emphasizes that self-compassion isn't indulgence. It's a necessary foundation for resilience and growth. By being kind to yourself, you'll find it easier to face life's challenges with courage and clarity. Chapter 16. The gift of silence. In a world filled with noise, silence is a rare and powerful gift. Nguyen highlights how silence allows us to reconnect with ourselves and hear the whispers of our intuition. He explains that constant distractions from social media to endless tasks pull us away from the present moment. To experience the gift of silence, Nguyen recommends setting aside time each day to unplug. This could mean a quiet walk in nature, a few minutes of meditation, or simply sitting in stillness. Silence isn't just the absence of noise, it's the presence of peace. Through silence, you gain clarity and reconnect with what truly matters. As Nguyen puts it, silence is the space where the answers reside. Chapter 17. Living with Intention. The final chapter ties everything together. Living with intention. Nguyen explains that an intentional life is one where your actions align with your values and purpose. It's about being proactive instead of reactive, making deliberate choices rather than going through the motions. Start each day by reflecting on your intentions. Ask yourself, what matters most to me today? This simple practice helps you focus your energy on what truly aligns with your goals and values. Nguyen also encourages mindfulness in everyday activities. Whether you're working, spending time with loved ones, or pursuing a hobby, bring your full attention to the moment. By living intentionally, you create a life of meaning and fulfillment. Nguyen's message is clear. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your intentions. Joseph Nguyen's "Don't Believe Everything You Think" is more than just a book. It's a guide to transforming the way you experience life. From letting go of attachments and embracing silence to living intentionally and rediscovering joy, these principles are designed to help you break free from the patterns of overthinking and create lasting peace. But remember, this summary is just the beginning. The full book dives deeper into these life-changing ideas, with examples and practices that can truly shift your perspective. We encourage you to grab a copy and explore it in its entirety. It's a game changer. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights like this. Thank you for watching. And as always, take care of your mind, live with intention, and keep growing. Until next time.